Hi, I'm Harish Reddy, founder of Cloud Optimize Solutions. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we are going to talk about Amazon Connect best practices. So, before we dive into it, I want to explain what this is about. So, if your business is looking for a contact center solution and shortlisting Amazon Connect, or if you're testing Amazon Connect and want to go forward with it, then I mean, even before you go ahead and have the consultants implement it, it is better for you to have a good idea on the implementation best practices so that you can when the consultant explains you those things, critical things, you would know that hey, he's talking about the best practices. So this particular video will help you understand some of the best practices that you need to follow for a successful Amazon Connect rollout. So let's dive in. First section is about service availability, service quotas, and telephony. So one of the main things is Amazon Connect. No customer implements just Amazon Connect and starts using it. It integrates with over 25 services of AWS, and one of the main things that it uses is S3 to store the recordings and all of the recordings, the logs, and other stuff. So if you are planning to integrate Amazon Connect with other services, then it is really important for you to go ahead and make sure the other services are also available in the region where you are going to deploy Amazon Connect. So that's number one. So end users, obviously the agents are the people who are going to use Amazon Connect. So what you need to do ensure is, if possible, have your agents and Amazon Connect instance in the same region. That is another important thing. Or you can I mean, compensate that with testing the for latency and other things that during the implementation we will be able to do it for you. So Amazon Connect has some default limits. So for best of performance, based on your use cases and business requirements, you can open a support ticket and increase those service quotas or service limits. And here's the link for all the service limits for Amazon Connect. If you are wondering how to get this document, I'll share the link in the description so you can go ahead and get this document as well. Continuing on service availability, if your Amazon Connect implementation requires porting telephone numbers that you're already using, then allocate sufficient amount of time in your planning, because sometimes it takes good amount of time for you to port those numbers. So yeah, make sure you plan that in your implementation plan. Allocate time in your implementation plan. Make sure you load test Amazon Connect solution for your anticipated call volumes, not your average call volume, but really your peak call volume, maybe during the holiday season, maybe during, depends on your business, right? So make sure you go ahead and load test your solution for peak volumes. And that's the link there for the endpoint test utility. So there's a test point utility that you have to use to make sure your connectivity is working well. So that's about service quota, service availability, and telephony. Now let's talk about contact flows, which are the core, which are like the heart of Amazon Connect, right? Always make sure you create modular contact flows, because creating a modular contact flow helps you to reuse those flows and also actually plug in all these modules to build a better customer experience as part of your the whole customer journey, right? So always make sure you build modular contact flows. Follow consistent taxonomy for naming attributes, etc. What I mean that either if you are using camel case, use camel case. If you are using uppercase, use uppercase. So whatever that you are following, keep it consistent across all the contact flows. Then contact flows permissions are critical part of implementation. Make sure you follow the least privilege policy, and users just allocate permissions that users need with respect to control flows and nothing more. Make sure all the contact blocks, all the blocks in contact flow are enabled for logging, and CloudWatch is able to capture that information. So that's those are some of the best practices for contact flows. So now let's talk about security. Needless to say, security is the main thing. AWS focuses a lot on security, and Amazon Connect is designed to integrate with your identity provider, whether it is AWS Active Directory service or your own Active Directory. Whatever the identity provider you have, Amazon Connect is designed to integrate with it. So make sure in your production instance to use your identity provider and not like a local user store, and that's not a best practice. It's always a best practice to use your enterprise service identity provider. So also enable MFA for all users. So make sure users connect through MFA, use multi-factor authentication, and then again the same thing, follow the principle of least privilege for all the users. For example, an agent should not be able to go ahead and delete an instance, right, or delete a contact flow for that matter. So don't give those kind of permissions. Make sure the permissions and security is set properly. Now let's talk about integration. Amazon, as I said, Amazon Connect integrates with over 25 Amazon services, and there's a list of all the services that it integrates with. Make sure the services are available in the same region as Amazon Connect instance to for better performance, right? And if you are integrating with third-party APIs, there could be latency issues. Make sure you test it before going live. So the most important thing is you remove sensitive data before logging. You can use step functions. There are multiple ways to do it, but make sure you remember to remove all the sensitive data in before logging. All the integration happens through AWS Lambda and with Amazon Connect, and with for Lambda make sure you use AWS sorry, I have a typo there, AWS Cloud 9 for Lambda development. Follow proper naming conventions for Lambda code, and save Lambda code in code repository using versioning. So those are some of the best practices for Lambda integration. Finally, data security. Again, security for Amazon Connect instance is different, and data security is different. Make sure you conduct an audit to identify all the sensitive data that flows through the entire experience, customer journey, right? So make sure what data is going to flow through the every contact flow, and make a note of it. And Amazon Key Management Service encrypts all the data in transit and rest. But if you're integrating with the third party service, you need to make sure this encryption flows through any third party API integrations. That's really critical. And if you're planning to collect payment card information, then it should happen over an encrypted DTMF. So that's about data security. So let's talk about like finally some general best practices. It's always good to use a multi-stage environment when you're building a contact center solution. So you have a low-level environments where you test all your changes, and then you promote those changes to production after proper testing. So that's really the right way to do it, and that's the right way to train the employees in the future to do it, right? So that's really important. Make sure you save all contact flows in a code repository using contact flow export option. So there is a contact flow export option in Amazon Connect that you can use to export the contact flows. So these are the general best practices. So as I said, this is to give you an overview of all the important areas that you need to pay attention when you are implementing Amazon Connect. Hey, if you want to see a live demo of Amazon Connect, or a custom POC just for your business for free, make sure you visit cloudoptimize.net and schedule a free POC request a free POC, and I'll be happy to go ahead and do it for you. I hope this video is useful. Go ahead, subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to share a lot of information on Amazon Connect, best practices, implementation, a lot of that. So yeah, let's talk in the next video. Thank you.